room. This is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
Sophie Cunningham crumbled to the floor after a brutal knee collision, and the arena froze. Her family, her teammates, even fans online immediately pointed the finger not at fate, but at the officials who once again failed to protect players. To them, this wasn't an isolated moment. It was the latest chapter in a disturbing pattern. Caitlin Clark's groin injury after a dangerous hit, J.C. Sheldon's infamous eye poke, Marina Mabrey's reckless foul, every clash with the Connecticut Sun seems to leave an Indiana Fever player battered and bruised. Frustration boiled over. But instead of folding, Indiana fought back. Behind Kelsey Mitchell's career-high 38 points, Odyssey Sims stepping up on a hardship deal, and Lexie Hull drilling the clutch three, the Fever stormed to a 99-93 overtime comeback no one thought possible. But the question remains, how did they turn disaster into destiny after such a nightmare first half?
Shot clock down to 6 for the Fever. Turner, up fade. Turner kicks it. Hull three-pointer. Bottom!
Indiana,
7 on the shot clock, 25 seconds in regulation.
they got to get to the rim.
Charles has to hoist and connects. Wow. The Indiana Fever prove their resiliency.
Fever down! Now! Put it up in the chat. Yeah.
For Indiana, the problems began long before tip-off. The Fever entered this game without all three of their true point guards. Caitlin Clark was still sidelined with the groin injury she suffered in mid-July. Sydney Colson was lost to a torn ACL, and Ari McDonald was recovering from a broken foot. That left the roster without a natural floor general, forcing Coach Stephanie White to rip up the blueprint and rethink everything, while other teams polished playoff sets. Indiana had to strip their playbook bare relying on simplified actions that wouldn't overwhelm players being asked to carry responsibilities far outside their usual roles.
After Phoenix, it was a quick turnaround to figure out, how we're going to play without, Ari and Sid. And now we got to figure out how we're going to play without Soph. And we've got to figure out, who can play in certain roles. What are our substitution patterns going to be? What kind of wrinkles can we throw out there? It doesn't get easier. And I think we come back and have Minnesota twice. Right, so it's really good mentally, physically, and emotionally for us, and then it gives us practice time, which we're going to need.
The challenge only grew once the game tipped off. Midway through the second quarter, Sophie Cunningham collided violently under the rim. She lasted just 10 minutes before leaving for good. Cunningham's toughness and three-point shooting had been the glue holding White's fragile rotation together. Losing her didn't just mean fewer bodies. It meant losing spacing the heartbeat of Indiana's offense. Suddenly, minutes ballooned for players unprepared to shoulder the load, and White's staff was left juggling fatigue, mismatches, and pure survival. By halftime, the Fever's rotation looked paper-thin, patching holes.
We got Sophie Cunningham writhing around in pain, definitely hurt, and Sophie's one tough cookie. If Sophie's kicking and screaming like this, no Will Farrell. She's in pain. We even have Connecticut Sun players. Look at that. Connecticut Sun players, Connecticut Sun training staff coming up to her as the Fever starts making their way down.
On paper, everything screamed blowout. But instead of collapsing, Indiana sharpened their edge. They treated the chaos as fuel, survival mode as motivation. Numbers may have been reduced, but their resistance wasn't. What no one realized inside the arena was that the hardest moment hadn't yet struck. It came next when Cunningham's devastating collision didn't just alter Indiana's lineup, but reignited a firestorm over WNBA officiating.
Every day in our huddle, that's what we say together. And it's just more than words for us. I think when you see things happening, there's no other way. If you spread apart, the season goes down quicker than anything else. And we talked about with the injuries, people are probably expecting us to just fold, just like you said, and that's not us. We come in the locker room and we're motivated. We continue to be motivated every single time we step on that floor. At halftime, we're motivated, chip away, and that's our mindset. And just continue to uplift people. When one person goes down, we say it all the time, the next woman stands up. And that's really just been our motto and been what we've had to do a lot this season, and that's what we're just going to continue to do.
The defining moment came midway through the second quarter, one of the scariest scenes of the season. On a drive to the basket, Bria Hartley lost her balance and fell straight into Cunningham's right knee. The sound of impact silenced the arena. Cunningham screamed in pain, clutching her leg before collapsing. She couldn't put weight on it, and trainers had to help her off the floor. The Fever later announced she would undergo an MRI. No foul was called. That single decision ignited a firestorm of outrage both inside the building and across social media.
How does she magically lower her shoulder into Sophie Cunningham's legs? Can somebody please explain that to me? Can somebody please explain those physics? Again, don't want to hear it, because this is a dirty player.
Fans erupted instantly. Many stood, waving their arms at referees, screaming for a stoppage, while Cunningham writhed in pain under the rim. The game went on as if nothing had happened. No whistle, no stoppage, just silence from the officials. Teammates were furious. A starter had to be carried off the court, and the officials refused to acknowledge it. After the game, Coach Stephanie White admitted her first thought upon seeing Cunningham's agony wasn't polished or diplomatic. It was raw, blunt, and unfiltered.
Do you have an update on Sophie?
Right now.
Yeah.
Let's do more like MRI sometime.
Yeah, MRI tomorrow.
Sorry, just quickly on Sophie. I mean, what's going through your mind when you see her down like that, and you know you're jogging over there?
I'm like, holy shit. I mean, you know, especially the way that she fell, and you know how she was holding herself and how much pain she was in. You know, at the time, it's like crap, and then you go down there and you see her, and it's like, okay, just want her to calm down and be able to regroup.
Most fans, this wasn't just an accident, not against the Sun. It was another scar in a disturbing pattern. The memories came flooding back. J.C. Sheldon's eye poke on Caitlin Clark in June, Marina Mabry's hard foul that flattened Clark, and Sheldon's knee to Clark's groin on July 15th, the very injury that has kept her sidelined for over a month. Each of those moments had been labeled reckless each time. Fans demanded stronger disciplinary action. Against that backdrop, Cunningham's collapse didn't look like bad luck. It looked like another preventable injury in a league refusing to protect its star.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. You know, scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
And emotions escalated even further this time from Cunningham's own family. Her sister, Lindsay, posted directly at the WNBA. WNBA. Maybe you should focus less on finding players for commenting on your poor officiating and more on hiring officials who can call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you. That wasn't just a fan rant. That was family rage. Her mother, Paula Cunningham, went even further in a since-deleted post, calling Hartley plain mean and labeling her plays out of control. Those words hit hard. For many fans, it was proof the environment had become dangerous and players were being left unprotected.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe this is Mama C. Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. Looked out of control to me. Maybe you should focus, her sister. Maybe you should focus less on finding players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are capable to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you. The only good thing positive surrounding Sophie Cunningham coming out of this game, she looked in good spirits in the locker room.
And at the core of the outrage was one question: accountability. Hartley wasn't a random name. She had a history of on-court clashes, and her involvement intensified everything. Fans on social media called her reckless. Some demanded suspension. Others turned their attention to the league itself, calling for officiating standards to be completely re-examined. The silence of the whistle that night became symbolic. To Indiana, it meant they'd get no favors, no sympathy, no protection. And in that vacuum of fairness, the Fever leaned on raw emotion. They funneled it into resilience. And soon, all of it would channel through one player whose explosion would rewrite the night and the Fever's season.
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that sometimes it sounds like just a word when we talk about being resilient, but it's not, man. It's how we live.
Yeah.
It's how y'all live, and it's a tribute to you. It's a tribute to your connectedness, your togetherness, your toughness, your mindset. You never give up gritty attitudes. Like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And
See, Mitchell answered the chaos with fire before halftime. She looked ordinary just for points, but something snapped at the break. She came out demanding the ball, attacking every matchup. And by the final buzzer, she had dropped 38 points, tying her career high, and marking the single largest scoring performance in the WNBA this season. Even more shocking, 34 of those points came after halftime, 10 in overtime alone. Mitchell didn't just step up, she detonated.
An assassin, Kelsey Mitchell, has a new career high. Backdoor Mitchell bouncing in the paint for two. Kelsey Mitchell, the big is matched up. Mitchell squeezing through for two at the foul. Fouls on the other end. It's Mitchell launching it.
And she did it with ruthless precision. Mitchell shot 11 for 20 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3, and 11 for 12 from the line. She dished out 6 assists to keep Indiana's offense alive when it threatened to collapse. Every shot carried weight with the margin razor thin, down 21 points earlier. One wasted possession could have swung the game back to Connecticut instead. Mitchell delivered dagger after dagger step backs, clutch threes, cold-blooded free throws. This wasn't reckless gunning. This was surgical execution under impossible pressure.
Your New England Ford dealers and the Ford Bronco family goat modes, the official SUVs of the Connecticut Sun. Mitchell connects.
Reading the defense and reckless closeout. So you have to make sure you let the shooter land here. Landing space needs to happen. Looks like Mitchell also clutching her leg here as well.
Regular closeout review. If it is, it's going to be just make one. Okay, because it went in.
Coach Stephanie White admitted afterward she was speechless. Her words were simple. Mitchell put us on her back. Big shot after big shot. Big play after big play. Even the Suns defenders, glued to her every move, couldn't break her rhythm. By overtime, it wasn't just Indiana's game plan anymore. It was Mitchell's game. Own start to finish.
Kelsey, your second half, you did 34 of your points just now.
Damn!
The last after halftime, what took over you? How did you get it done on the floor?
I think it was more about what we did from a standpoint of like the mindset and the mentality from half to half. It sucked for me first half. It just wasn't, and I think that, it wasn't as well for our group, but the resiliency is true in our room. Seeing Soph go down and then knowing what happened with Sid and knowing what happened with Ari and then knowing what happened with Cece, it's like, I think a lot of it was just God and being able to like stay prepared and stay in your mental state to be able to compete. But I really think that that's the most resilient that we've ever been because of everything we've been through. So I think a lot of it you just tap into your team and you just love on your team. And I think, great things can happen.
Her eruption didn't just save Indiana. It rewrote history. The 38-point masterpiece marked her 11th career 30-point game, passing Tamika Catchings for the most in franchise history. That wasn't just a record. It was a statement about her consistency and her place in the Fever legacy, averaging nearly 20 points per game. Mitchell ranks top 5 in the league, and nights like this elevate her into MVP conversations. Recognition came fast. Caitlin Clark, unable to attend due to a family matter, posted just 2 words on social media, MVP Kels, and in that moment, Mitchell wasn't a placeholder until Clark returned. She was a franchise centerpiece, capable of carrying Indiana when everything else broke apart.